So today I want to talk about something that I discovered while studying and that blew my mind because I believed it for the first time, even if I've heard it 100 times before. And all we know is that hard work does not lead to wealth. Hard work does not lead to success. If you listen to like millionaires and billionaires, they will tell you hard work does not lead to wealth. And I'm like, yeah, right. But I don't fully believe it because what's going on in my life is that I'm reaching my goals by putting hard work. And in studying, I noticed that I'm not putting hard work into studying. I'm only studying 4 or 5 hours a day and I'm getting high marks. I'm getting in a certain material 20 over 20. And my friend, if she's watching this, she's gonna know herself. For the same exam, she had studied 3 days, she didn't sleep, and she didn't do well in the exam. So when she was telling me this, I was like, what? You studied 3 days? I studied like 4 or 5 hours for the exam, and like, I still did better than her. It's not comparison in here, but I'm gonna tell you why I'm mentioning this at the end of this video. But I really felt like life's unfair. This completely changed when I realized that hard work doesn't lead to wealth. But you're gonna feel like unfair because all we know is like the one that works the most is gonna get the most results, is gonna get the best results. And that's a completely wrong mindset. It's really wrong. Because when you have a goal in mind, in no book it was written that hard work is gonna get you to your goal. No one said that you need to put 12 hours into something in order to reach your goal. The wise way to do it is to use your mind that's very strong, that's very wise, that has so much capacity to use it and analyze this goal. To say, okay, this is the goal I have in mind. To understand what is required from you, what is specifically required from you to reach that goal. You need to use your mind and to develop a strategy that would get you to your goal. Okay? It's not about putting relentless work into something. It needs to be the right work, the efficient work, the most effective work that is gonna lead you to your goal. You need to know your goal and you need to know what is required to reach it. So let's say you have an exam. You need to study what is required from you to get a 20 over 20. You need to know the criteria and you need to study for the criteria and not study the lesson, all of it, and waste 12 hours. And then when you get to the exam, you don't use any of what you've studied. You need to understand what is required from you and you need to develop a strategy to reach it. So in an exam, for this specific type of exam, all that's required from me is to understand it fully, to have point A from point B understood, but it is never required to memorize from point B to point Z. If I want to memorize from point A to point Z, it's gonna take me 12 hours to memorize a whole book, right? But if I know that I need to understand it and I go ahead and focus in class, I understand it and then I write it mentally. I create a card or like a schema, we call it, of the things that are very most important. I have it in my mind. I would spend 2 hours on something. I fully understand it. When I'm in the exam, I just create or write down everything I understand, and then I do the exam. And then I get 20. That's a very simple strategy. But that's what's required from you to get to what you want. You don't need to study 12 hours and then in the exam, just do whatever happens. Go with the luck. So life does not ask you to put a lot of time and a lot of effort into something in order for life to give you the thing you want. Life asks you to be wise and to think of a way that's really gonna help you reach your goal. The effective way that's gonna help you reach your goal. Okay? So let's say your goal is to have money. All we know is that money is equal to time. So the amount of time you put equals the amount of money you get. You get paid as a salary. Okay? But if you really see the goal of money, you analyze this goal really, you realize that no, money has nothing to do with time. Money has perhaps to do with systems or strategies. I don't know, but you need to analyze your goal and you need to find a step and a strategy that's gonna help you reach it. That's the only way you can get to big amounts of wealth, to big amounts of success, to I don't know what you have in mind. But the goal here is to show you or to tell you that it has nothing to do with hard work, with spending 12 hours a day, with pushing through. No. If there is a code for success, there is a strategy that you need to know in order to reach what you want. Your goal, you should put a lot of hard work into knowing what the strategy is, into applying the strategy. You need to apply it, of course. And you need to put a lot of discipline to start with it. I need to put a lot of discipline to start with the studying that's gonna take 4 hours. I need to put a lot of hard work into focusing in the studying. But I don't need to put a lot of hard work in terms of time, in terms of relentlessly studying. So let's say we're comparing two people. One that's studying 12 hours and one that studies 4 hours. And remember how I told you at the start of this video, I felt like it's not fair. You know, for me to do really well and I only studied 4 hours, and for her to study 12 hours a day, I don't know how much, and to not do well on the exam, I felt like it's not fair. But then when you realize that it was not written in any book that hard work equals wealth, and hard work equals what you get, you realize that you need to have a system, you need to have a strategy in order to reach what you want. It's not about who spends more time, who spends more effort. No, it's about who spends the right time, who spends the right effort, who spends the right strategy. That's the one that deserves the results. That's how you get the results. So don't even let the feelings of, is it fair? Do I deserve it? It's not fair. Things like that come into your mind, because these emotions are gonna stop you from getting the results you want, you deserve. So for example, you see a guy on the internet that's making 10 times the amount that your mother is making while she's working for her job. You're gonna feel like this guy is a spam, like he doesn't deserve it, like it's not fair, like he's doing something, he's stealing. I don't know, you're gonna put a lot of judgments on him. And then when you want to have the results that this guy is having, you're gonna feel like you don't deserve it, like it's not fair. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week.